Did you know that without butterflies, entire ecosystems could collapse? Imagine a world without butterflies, a world where flowers never bloom fully and delicate colors fade from nature's palette. Sounds dull, right? But did you know that butterflies aren't just beautiful? They hold secrets that could change how we see the natural world. It all starts with an egg. You might think butterflies just appear magically one day, but their journey begins on the underside of leaves. Female butterflies carefully choose host plants where they lay their eggs, plants that will serve as a food source for their future caterpillars. Why? Because the moment these eggs hatch, the caterpillars go on a massive feeding frenzy. Their only mission, eat and grow. Sounds simple, right? Now let's talk about one impressive eater, the monarch caterpillar. This little guy can consume enough milkweed to grow 2,700 times its original size in just 2 weeks. That's like a baby human eating enough to become a 2-ton giant in a month. Pretty wild, huh? Caterpillars are more than just eating machines. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, some even armed with crazy defense mechanisms. For instance, the spice bush swallowtail caterpillar looks like a tiny snake when it's scared. Yes, a caterpillar that pretends to be a snake. It even has fake eyes on its body to fool predators. Nature is full of surprises. Ever noticed how some caterpillars are super colorful while others blend in? Well, that's no accident. Color is a caterpillar's primary defense. Bright colors usually signal danger or toxicity, like the striking orange of the tiger swallowtail caterpillar. On the flip side, some caterpillars are camouflaged so well that you could walk right past them without ever noticing. The oakleaf caterpillar is a master of disguise, looking exactly like a dried-up leaf. Now comes the moment we've all been waiting for, the transformation. Once the caterpillar has had its fill, it wraps itself up in a protective casing called a chrysalis. Inside, it turns into something you wouldn't expect, a soupy, almost unrecognizable mass. But what comes next is pure magic. Inside the chrysalis, a complete transformation happens. Imagine turning into liquid and then reforming into a completely different creature. It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's just biology. Some butterflies emerge with electric blue wings, like the blue Morpho, while others, like the glasswing butterfly, come out with transparent wings, making them nearly invisible in the wild. These adaptations not only make them beautiful, but also help them survive. Speaking of colors, have you ever wondered why some butterflies, like the blue Morpho, have such vivid, iridescent blue wings? Here's the twist. It's not just about pigments. These butterflies have microscopic scales on their wings that reflect light in a way that creates the appearance of that stunning blue. It's a kind of natural trickery. And did you know that blue is actually one of the rarest colors in nature? This makes the blue Morpho not only gorgeous, but also quite rare. If you want to get even more exotic, meet the Ulysses butterfly. Found in Australia, it sports some of the most vibrant blue wings you'll ever see. It's a rare gem in the butterfly world, often spotted fluttering through rainforests. But this color isn't just for show, it's a defense mechanism. The shimmering blue confuses predators by reflecting light in different directions, making it hard to follow. One of the most fascinating butterflies out there is the leaf butterfly, also known as the Kallima inachus, or the deadleaf butterfly. This butterfly has taken camouflage to the next level. When its wings are closed, it looks exactly like a dried-up leaf, complete with the veins, texture, and even damaged spots. You could stare right at it and think you're just looking at a piece of dead foliage on the ground. This kind of camouflage isn't just cool, it's a survival tactic that keeps predators like birds from spotting them. But when the leaf butterfly opens its wings, the inside tells a completely different story. The inner wings are often a bright, vibrant color, like orange or blue, which helps in startling predators or signaling mates. This combination of camouflage and color is a brilliant example of how evolution has shaped butterflies into both stunning and stealthy creatures. Butterflies can be found almost everywhere, except Antarctica, of course. They thrive in a variety of environments, from tropical rainforests to deserts. But each butterfly species is highly specialized, living only where they can find the right plants for their larvae. For instance, the swallowtail butterfly prefers citrus plants, while the monarch relies almost entirely on milkweed. Remove these plants and the butterflies are in serious trouble. Some species, like the Kamehameha butterfly in Hawaii, are critically endangered because their habitats are disappearing. This butterfly, named after the famous Hawaiian king, is one of the few native species left in the islands, and conservationists are racing against time to save them. Sure, most butterflies feed on nectar, flitting from flower to flower like tiny flying gardeners. But did you know some butterflies have much weirder diets? The red admiral butterfly, for example, is known to feast on fermented fruit. Yes, they can actually get drunk. Others, like the blue moon butterfly, sip tree sap or even animal droppings to get the salts and minerals they need to survive. Not exactly what you picture when you think of butterflies, right? But here's something even cooler. Some butterflies practice puddling, where they gather around mud puddles to drink water rich in minerals. You might think they're just hanging out, but they're actually absorbing essential nutrients that help them live longer and breed more successfully. Butterflies aren't just pretty, they're pollinators, responsible for helping plants reproduce. Without butterflies, many of the fruits, vegetables, and flowers we love wouldn't exist. Plus, they're a critical part of the food chain. Birds, frogs, and even small mammals rely on butterflies and caterpillars for food. A world without butterflies would be a world on the brink of ecological collapse. Now let's hit you with a harsh reality. Butterflies are in danger. Habitat loss, climate change, and pesticides have led to the decline of many species, including the beloved monarch butterfly. Scientists are calling it the butterfly apocalypse, and if we don't act soon, many species could vanish forever. Imagine a world where you look out into your garden and see nothing. No fluttering wings, no bursts of color. The absence of butterflies would signal something much deeper, an environmental crisis that would ripple through entire ecosystems. Before we wrap up, let's throw in some mind-blowing butterfly facts you probably didn't know. They see colors we can't. Butterflies have incredible vision and can see ultraviolet light, which is invisible to humans. Some species, like the painted lady, use this ability to find mates and food. They can migrate thousands of miles. Monarchs are famous for their 3,000-mile migration, but did you know they can travel up to 100 miles a day? They taste with their feet. Yep, butterflies have taste sensors on their feet, which help them find the best flowers to land on. Imagine if we could taste food just by stepping on it. Stay tuned for more surprises and fascinating facts, because with butterflies, the more you learn, the more you realize how extraordinary they truly are. If you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend checking out our previous one about chimpanzees, the smartest animal on the planet. Did you know that chimpanzees share 98.8% of their DNA with us? Just a tiny 1.2% difference is all it takes to create such a massive gap between us and them. Now imagine an alien species with just 1.2% more advanced DNA than ours. Mind-blowing, right? Anyway, until the next video, stay curious and full of energy.